Hey there, and welcome to the Zabbix training course. I'm Iman Jokar, and in this series of videos, we're going to learn Zabbix together, step by step and hands on. You know, my English isn't very good, but I'll try my best. Please forgive me if I make any mistake. Okay, let's talk about Zabbix. Maybe you've never worked with monitoring tools before, or maybe you already have some experience. Either way, this course is designed to help you really understand how Zabbix works and, more importantly, how to use it in a real world scenarios. Okay, I will try to help you how to monitor your application, your network device, your systems. Zabbix can monitor everything. Remember this speak. Zabbix can monitor everything using SNMP, using Zabbix Agent, using custom script, using using custom scripts like Python, Bash script, Ansible playbook, and blah. So trust me and uh, come with me step by step. I will show you everything about Zabbix. We are not just installing software. We will building lab environment using tools like GNS3 or EvenG and testing everything in practice. I promise you, test everything and practice it. Okay? In GNS3 or EvenG. This is not simulator. This is emulator. Okay? Hope excuse me. Uh, okay, let's talk about a little about Zabbix architecture. Already before we jump into installing anything, let's talk a bit about how Zabbix actually works. Zabbix has a few main components that talk uh, component. Okay, uh, let me some time. I forget my digital pen, and for this video we're using Notepad to talk about Zabbix architecture. First, uh, we've got the Zabbix server. Okay, we have a Zabbix server, we have a Zabbix proxy, we have a Zabbix database, we have a Zabbix web UI interface. Okay, we have some more component like Zabbix Agent, Zabbix Get, Zabbix Sender, and a little. But the most important one, Zabbix Server, Zabbix mm, Database, and the Zabbix Web UI interface. Okay, Zabbix Server. This is like the brain of the whole system. It receives data, checks for problems, and sends out alerts if something goes wrong. This all done by Zabbix Server. The database. Database can be MySQL or MariaDB or MariaDB, PostgreSQL. Okay. The Zabbix recommend use one of these database. Uh, in the previous version of Zabbix, it supports Oracle database, but in version 7, Zabbix Zabbix announced that uh, we don't want to go with Oracle database. Okay, we have a database, usually MariaDB or MySQL. This is where all the monitoring data, logs, and configuration settings are stored. So all logs, all configuration settings, all data is stored in the database, as you all know. Okay, the Zabbix web UI interface, we can use Nginx or Apache web server, okay, for viewing the Zabbix dashboard. Hmm. This is the front end, which is just a fancy name for a web interface. This is what we use in the browser to see graph, configuration host, and manage everything. Okay. Now, I want to talk about a little about Zabbix Agent. In order to collect the data, we use the Zabbix agent. It runs on the machine we want to monitor and sends information like CPU usage, memory, disk space, all the good stuff back to the Zabbix server. The Zabbix agent installed on the remote machine, the machine we want to monitor it, like a Linux server, Windows server, uh, okay, and the Zabbix agent runs on that machine and can send the statistics about that machine to the Zabbix server. Then we can process the data, we can set alert, we can set graph, we can send alarm, and a lot of things. Okay, in a bigger networks, or if we are monitoring remote location, we can use a Zabbix proxy. A bigger network, we can use a Zabbix proxy. Okay, Zabbix proxy is like a Zabbix server. Guys, this is very, very, very good point of Zabbix, which is the Zabbix proxy. With Zabbix proxy, we can distribute the installation of the Zabbix. Consider this scenario. You have a lot of network device. You think about this scenario. You work in the company. This company has 100 branch all of the world, located all of the world, and each branch has 3 or 4 network device in each branch. Okay, on the headquarter there are you think 100 network device, switches, routers, firewalls, servers, or blah blah blah. Now, if you want to monitor all of things using one Zabbix server in a long period of time, I promise you, in a 1 week, your entirely monitoring tools in our case, which is Zabbix, will down, because a lot of items Zabbix monitor about your hosts, about your monitoring device. Then your monitoring stack will fail. Why? Because you're not distribute your monitoring stack. With Zabbix proxy, we can distribute it. We can install a Zabbix proxy in each site, or if you prefer, 2 sites by 1 Zabbix proxy, or 10 sites by 1 Zabbix proxy. Zabbix proxy is a tiny Zabbix server. We can store the data about monitoring device or monitoring agent and store on it and send this data to the Zabbix server in a period of time. Okay, this can reduce the load average on the Zabbix server. Reduce the load. Okay, this done by Zabbix proxy. Let's summarize. In a bigger network, or if we are monitoring remote location, we can use a Zabbix proxy. The Zabbix proxy collects data from a group of devices and then forward it to the main Zabbix server later. Okay. Let's talk about the Zabbix port. Let's quickly go over some of the ports Zabbix uses, just so we know what's going on behind the scenes. The Zabbix agent listens on port 100. Looks, Zabbix agent works on 115, 150 over TCP. Okay, the Zabbix server works on 151 over TCP, and web server we can use on 80 or 443 over TCP again, or we can use another port which we can change on the configuration file. Okay, on configuration file of Nginx, Apache web server, and blah blah blah. Database, if use MySQL or MariaDB, works on 3306, or Postgres. In the case we use PostgreSQL, Postgres 5601, I think 5601 default Postgres port. Let me some time forget about it. Default Postgres port. If we use SNMP 161 over UDP, or if we use SNMP trap 162 again over this UDP. Okay, next section we want to talk about active or passive agent in Zabbix agent. Okay, active or passive check in Zabbix agent. Actually, in Zabbix agent, in the configuration of Zabbix agent, we can configure the Zabbix agent to work in an active or passive mode. In active mode, listen carefully. In active mode, if we configure our Zabbix agent in an active mode, the agent will send the monitoring statistics or monitoring data to the Zabbix server. Okay, the agent send the data to the Zabbix server in a period of time, or in a period of time, no, in an interval time, like 1 minute or 2 minutes, in an interval. I will show you in the Zabbix. I will show you, I promise. Okay, in the active mode, the agent will send the gathered data to the Zabbix server. In passive mode, the Zabbix server in the passive mode, if we configure our agent in a passive mode, okay, the Zabbix server requests the Zabbix agent. Get a request to the Zabbix agent and tell him or tell her, give me your data, and the Zabbix agent give the data to the Zabbix server. Okay, so in active mode, the data was sent from Zabbix agent to Zabbix server. In passive mode, the Zabbix server come to the Zabbix agent and command him, give me my data, and the Zabbix agent give him the data. Okay, this is all about the active or passive mode. Okay, guys, again, my English is not very good. I try the best, so please forgive me if I make any mistake. I will try my best. Okay, the next section, I want to install the Zabbix on the Linux server. I will use the Ubuntu 22.04. Okay, and I will use Docker for installing MySQL or MariaDB as a database for Zabbix server, and install the in later course I will set up the whole Zabbix stack using Docker. So in the first videos, let me install everything bare metal. I mean, I install Zabbix server, Zabbix web server, and Zabbix database using the apt command, which is the package manager of Debian-based Linux. Okay, so see you in the next capture, in the next session. Thanks, goodbye.